आज जब क्लाइमेट क्राइसिस और इन्वायरमेंटल डिग्रेडेशन हमारे भविष्य के सबसे बड़े सवाल बन चुके हैं, ऐसे में कुछ लोग हैं जो धरती को सांस लेने की नई जगह दे रहे हैं। धीरज यादव, फाउंडर ऑफ नौका फाउंडेशन, उन्हीं में से एक हैं जो इन्वायरमेंट और एजुकेशन के क्षेत्र में सार्थक बदलाव ला रहे हैं। वो मियावाकी फॉरेस्ट लगाते हैं, एक ऐसी तकनीक जो पर्यावरण के लिए बेहद अनुकूल है और कम समय में डेंस फॉरेस्ट देती है। एक सोशल सेक्टर प्रोफेशनल के रूप में धीरज देश के कोने कोने की यात्रा कर चुके हैं, जहां उन्होंने अपने काम, कंपोजर और समर्पण से लोगों को प्रकृति से जुड़ने की प्रेरणा दी है। आइए आज उनसे सुनते हैं धीरज की कहानी, एक ऐसी यात्रा जो हरियाली, सीख और संतुलन की मिसाल हो। So Dheeraj, you started this NGO called Nauka Foundation in 2018, if I'm not wrong. So I would like to ask, was there any particular reason or any particular issue that concerned you, or like what was the thought process behind starting this organization?
Generally, there are two kind of reasons when people start some new initiative: external and internal. In my case, I would say it is more internal reason for me to start this foundation. Since long, there was one question in my mind which kept popping out in my thoughts, that what is the natural role of human in this universe? And I couldn't find the answer for a long period of time, but later I realized, when I was working with different organizations, I realized that we could work on two things. Still, this is not my final answer, but till now I could reach this particular answer which I am satisfied with right now: to work with the mother nature and to help the communities, to support communities, which is why Nauka Foundation is working on two causes: environmental sustainability and education and skill development. Under environment, we are growing forests, different kinds of forests, and under education, we have skill development labs where we are training students.
So when I was going through your website, you are basically planting Miyawaki forest. So would you let us know a bit about that?
Nauka plants different kind of forests, not only Miyawaki. Yes, currently we are more focused on Miyawaki forests. Why? Because it is in this process trees grow 10 times faster, and it is more denser than the normal forests, which is easily helping us to have more oxygen in this atmosphere. Okay, if you talk about particularly Miyawaki forest, it is a Japanese technique started by Akira Miyawaki.
So Dheeraj, what is so special about Noka Foundation? There are a lot of organizations which are planting trees. They are working on sustainability, environment, climate change. But what makes Noka Foundation so special?
See, all the organizations are working well in their own capacities. They have their understanding, they have their local causes and all. So, but if you especially ask what special we are doing, yes, we are also just planting trees. Initially, when I started this organization in 2018, we were going in schools, we were going in RWA colonies, and we were planting 100, 200 trees in events. Later, I realized that all these trees are not sustaining in long run. They are dying because there is no proper care for all these trees which we were planting. So we decided later we decided that we will not go and just plant trees. That is why now we are growing forests. Wherever we go, we plant at least 10,000 trees, 5,000 trees, and grow a mini kind of a forest by using different type of techniques like ultra high density, and other things. So what happens with this? We plant 5,000 trees, create a mini forest, and then we take care of it for like 2 years, for 3 years, so that we have a good survival rate. I would tell you one data that till now, whatever trees we have planted, we have 90% survival rate. So all these trees which we are planting, we are taking care of all those trees for at least 2 years and
And
3
how
years.
long do you take care? Like you have just mentioned that once that period is passed, like you have taken care of a piece of land for 2 years. Then what happens after that?
What happens when we take care of the forest? We also include panchayat members and department specialists in it. We give them training throughout this tenure, and later, once the tenure is done, 3 years is done, or 2 years, whatever it decided in the MOU with the company, later we give this hand the forest hand it over to the panchayat or to the department whose land we are using, and we make sure that after 3 years or after 2 years that that particular organization, panchayat or the department, is also equipped or capable to take care of the forest later for the long run.
I really like this fact that you just have mentioned, because I am also of the opinion that whatever the nature of the intervention is, the element of local ownership or local accountability should always be there. Because once that element is not there, people are not, like, people don't feel obliged or people don't feel inspired to take it forward. So I think that element of local ownership, co-creation is very important, irrespective of the nature of the intervention. So moving forward with the next question, I would like to ask you about the funding that your organization trying to get. Like, how do you arrange funds for your organization?
Yeah, so that is the most difficult task for any organization in social sector. There are different source of funds for foundations, for NGOs, where they can go and reach out, right? And these sources are CSR funds, and then individual fundraising, and normal donations which families make. Nauka Foundation, till now, since our inception, Nauka Foundation is working on CSR funds only. We are reaching out to these companies. In 2014, government made it mandatory for all the companies who are having net profit of 5 crores. There are two more points. 1000 crores of turnover and 500 crores of net worth. So, okay, all the organizations which are having 5 crores of net profit, they have to spend 2% of it on social initiatives, and they do it by giving it to NGOs like us. So we still work on that particular fund. We are also having plans to start this individual fundraising vertical in this organization, so that our work is not interrupted. CSR projects takes a lot of time to get CSR funding from one corporate, because they all have very long processes for.
So I think, like, you have been reaching out CSR for the last couple of years. So you must have faced like a couple of challenges in terms of getting funds from them. So can you list down like three specific challenges that you have faced in your experience, so that a budding NGO or a person who is trying to get into this space can also learn from those challenges?
So there are some challenges which I have faced till now. I would just mention some of them here. First is mindset. So there are entrepreneurs and social entrepreneurs. In all those people who are working in social entrepreneurs or activists, right? And those people who are working in business segment, they are entrepreneurs working for profit mainly. The for profit is their main purpose, but in social sector, solving a problem is the main purpose, and then secondary purpose is if it is bringing some money and profit, then it is fine. So this is the biggest challenge we face when we meet any business person for CSR funding. I would not say all, but some of them see it through that lens only. That what would be the ROI on that project, and what is the profit which we will gain from it. So there we have to like make them understand that what is the nature of this project and how it is going to benefit the community. Sometimes the outcome of the projects are not quite quantifiable, right? You cannot quantify, you cannot put the numbers to it. Sometimes it is just a qualitative data. So there is some challenges to make it presented to the corporate world. Second challenge, I would say, access to the top management. In most of the companies, top management people are only taking care of the CSR funding, and reaching out to those people, going and meeting them or accessing their office is very difficult task for any individual or for any NGO. We cannot just go and say hi to any top management person, because they are also busy with their work, right? So particularly you should have a circle, or you should be visiting these public events, CSR awards, where all these people are available. You have to do your networking well, then only you can access that particular network. Third challenge we face from other social organizations also. There are very nice organizations which are working in this sector, social sector. So they have very beautiful programs, and when you compete with them, they are also going to the same corporates for the funding. And there are many times you will see that they will get the funding, you will not get it, because their program is more, you know um, quantifiable, and it is more beautiful, and it is with some very nice community. So that challenge is there, but it is a healthy challenge, I would say.
So Dheeraj, you have mentioned about the ROI thing.
Yes.
So my question is that the CSR people, they come up with a different kind of background. Their daily affairs are more concerned with numbers. But since you are coming with a different kind of background, so then the kind of work that you do in that work, change is more important. You are more concerned with the impact outcome thing. So how do you communicate this to them that uh, instead of numbers, we also need to look beyond numbers? Like for example, I would like to give you an example. For example, you have planted 10,000 trees in a specific piece of land. So like how do you communicate to them that this plantation drive is not limited to only this particular land? It goes beyond that, and after a couple of years this kind of plantation will lead to XYZ kind of results. So how do you communicate that? How do you convince them?
So I would first say that it is not between us or them, or it is not about us or them. We are in one team, corporate and social sectors, because they both are working together. It is just their way of working is different, and in social sector, it is the way of work is different. In corporate sector, they are understanding things by numbers, by quantities, and by different how much return you have gotten on it, on any project. So I have realized it with my co-founder Aishwarya Raghupati, and we also try to give all these numbers. So particularly if I am talking about a forest, we try to give the possible numbers, that how many trees we are planting, how many trees possibly will survive after 3 years or 4 years, or in long run. And we use some international index, where we calculate how much oxygen this forest is going to produce, how much impact it will make in our atmosphere. So this data is very quantifiable, and people from corporate world like it very much. Also, in next phase, once the project is done, we take all our funders to the site physically. We make them meet the owners of the land, farmers, panchayat. When they talk to them, when they get the real when they get to see the real problem on site, when they talk to these people, when they see the project which we have done, and then it is a different kind of realization they get. Okay, this is the work we have done, and this is the impact it is going to make. And in long run, automatically it is easy to like see what change is being made on the ground.
So Dheeraj, in your journey of social sector, you have traveled a lot, and you have also interacted with people from different backgrounds, different countries even, and you have also read a lot of books. So my question is about the cultural shock. Like for example, most of the people, they just tend to live their entire life in a specific kind of cocoon. They never get this, they never step out of it. So has there been any kind of cultural shock that changed your perspective towards life or like or career? And were you able to like incorporate some kind of habits from those people? Like has there been any sort of experience?
So now when I think about my journey, there are so many events or incidents, I will not talk about them, but the perspective, I want to talk, I would like to talk about that perspective here. When I was in my hometown, all the um, house challenges, problems in my family, and the problems I was facing in daily life. It was the main, like it was a huge thing for me, and this was my world, and it was my capacity to think. Beyond that, nothing mattered to me, my family and that some important issues in that city. When I came out of that city, I came to Delhi. Then my issues in daily life changed, and my perspective got a little broader. What is happening in Delhi and what is happening in this state? What are the matters? And my daily life, what is happening with the organization I am working with. I started thinking about more things, so all the family things and problems in my family, they became shorter for me. And these issues I could see, which I was not which didn't exist for me earlier. Later, when I started traveling to other states, like Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Gujarat, and then Madhya Pradesh, my perspective got further broader. I got to know about multiple things, multiple challenges, different backgrounds, different cultures, and I could think lot more things in my mind. My the issues again got further, like smaller, which I was having in that particular city in Delhi when I came out. So with the traveling, my perspective got broader, like with the time. And I also have the experience of working with different kind of people who came from different countries, various bag cultures and all. There also I saw different things, like I was doing some things which were normal for me, but at the same time it was a disaster for the other person who was coming from different culture. There was things which other people were doing and it was normal for them to do, and for me it was a cultural shock.
Any particular example for that?
If you see the example, one of my friends, she was talking about nude beaches in their country where people go without clothes. And when I saw that photos, and when I read about those beaches, it was a cultural shock. I could never think of a place in the world where people would
It is
would
against our morality or
yeah, would
humanity.
roam naked, and that was a cultural shock for me. I wouldn't have thought about it ever in my life.
So, has there been any book that impacted you a lot, that has shaped your thinking, your thought process, or the kind of person you have become?
Yes, there are so many books which has impacted my thought process and my mind in its own way, but I would like to mention two books here. First is Siddharth by Herman Hesse, and another is my experiments with truth by, it's an autobiography of Mahatma Gandhi. So these two books has a great impact on my mind. I have learned this from Siddhartha, that you don't have to like find a particular thing or chase a particular goal in your life and not see other things. Okay, you could have a particular goal or you could have a destination to reach, but still you can enjoy the whole process, enjoy all the ups and downs in your life. You can enjoy this whole journey, and then you can reach your destination as well. From Mahatma Gandhi's book, I have learned how a person who is not able to speak in front of
A group of
a
people.
group of people, that person became a leader who were able to speak in front of the whole world with the confidence later. So that journey itself has an impact on my mind, and it is very close to my heart.
And since in your experience you have worked a lot with youngsters too, in terms of skills development, livelihood. So, what makes a youngster in particular? Why I'm asking about youngsters, because we always talk about this, that India is the youngest country in the world. So that's why I'm more concerned with the youngsters. So, what makes a youngster change his or her behavior? Like, we all are concerned with changing other people's behavior in terms of our professional capacities, in terms of our like social capacities. But what genuinely, what makes a person changes himself? What is that one thing, or maybe two things? Why should I change? Like, what is the one thing? Okay, now I'm supposed to change myself.
See, I am not a philosopher, and I'm not any expert who would say, okay, these are the points you can work on and then it will change your perspective and everything. Here I could simply give an example of my life. I am coming from a middle class family who was having this idea of life, generally where you have to study, come out of from college, and then you have to do a particular job, get married, have kids, and then a big house and a car. That's how you live your life, and that kind of a idea is put into your mind, right? But what changed it, when I started, I was on bed rest, for your information, for 2 years, and that time I had a plenty time to do different things on my bed. So I started reading different kind of books, autobiographies, fictional books mainly, and it changed my perspective in a very different way. It gave me a very special experience. It opened a new world in front of me. So I started thinking about different things which were mentioned in these books, autobiographies and biographies. I started thinking about journey of Mahatma Gandhi. I started thinking about that perspective of Hitler was having, and then I was also thinking about APJ Abdul Kalam when I was building that rocket and all. So it had a huge impact on my mind. It changed my thought process. So one thing youngsters can do, they can start reading books.